for Schindler. Has a chance to write his name in Huddersfield Town legend. And he takes that chance!
Is it time to ring the changes? Let's see. It's the warm-up episode 95. It's Brady and Tom. We're previewing the Preston North End game. Yes, the fourth one this season in the FA Cup. And we're joined by Bryony Rowan. Tom, how are you? It's 2023 now. It's the first warm-up podcast of the year. Any words of wisdom for the listeners as we begin a new year?
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy football. Just take it easy. Just live life to its fullest. I'm being very positive today. Like you said, the fourth game against Preston, that's absolutely insane. And do you know what, Brady? We actually beat them for the first time in 53 years. Is it 53 years? Madness.
And do you know what, Tom? We predicted that would happen. And I'm going to brag about it because we never get our predictions right. But, you know.
No, we don't.
You're not laughing now, are you? Bryony, welcome back. It's been a while. Good break. Town have actually won some games, so surely a little bit more positive.
I mean, yeah, I can't lie. I've not made it to all of them because, God bless the rail strikers, but they are ruining my life a little bit. But yeah, what I've seen of them, there's actually been some improvement, which I think everyone will be surprised to hear me say it, and I don't usually.
No, we're not surprised. It's just I think it's caught everyone by surprise. But that's what a win at Preston will do for you. Let's hope it can continue because good news to keep the positivity going. It's a match day where we don't have to worry about league positions for at least a week. Yeah. Oh, who's above us? Who's below us? So we're heading back to Deepdale. I say we're not going, but unless we get called up by Fotheringham, which we'll talk about because we expect some changes. But Town are heading back to Deepdale just 12 days after the surprising 2-1 league win, which, as you said, Tom, first win in 53 years. I'll come to you first, though, Tom. Your first little bit of insight. How are you feeling about this one? Because obviously, we're in a perilous position in the league. But do you think Town should go for this? Do you think they should play a weakened team? How are you looking at this one?
I think they should play a semi-weakened team. I think it could have come at the right time. Apologies, but I haven't done my research to see what the Hoggy injury is like, and it might be quite good for us this game coming up. That in reality, I mean, we're not going to get to the FA Cup final or anything, are we? Really, come on, let's be realistic. It might be a good bit of a break for Hogg just to recover because he just seemed so key the other day against Luton. But I mean, it's always good to progress in the FA Cup as well. And I think it's a great chance for those lads who maybe haven't had a look in. Some of the younger lads have had a chance this season, but maybe some of those younger lads who are a bit more on the precipice to impress and show that they could offer something for the last half of the season as well.
No, good point. And Bryony, are you kind of in agreement? Do you think they should bring in
I think kind of the opposite, to be honest. I think we've just had a massive break. We've come in and we've got that sort of, I call it a run of form. We had 2 games where, we won, which is the first time we've done it all season. Luton, yeah, we didn't win, but there was still improvement in them. You could see what they were doing well. You could see some things that weren't doing well. I think treat it like you would a league game, play together, see what we can do, maybe throw a few people in there who have, newly come in or been recalled. But I think don't mess with it too much because they seem to just be figuring out what's working. So either, maybe try a few little new things, but we're still in a position where we need to practice what works. So I think slightly weakened, sure, it's going to be weakened anyway. From what I've seen, I think Hogg won't be back for it, and I don't think we should waste him because, I agree with Tom. I think he's been vital. Those 2 wins, and then you lose him again at Luton, and you can really see it. So yeah, I think it's a practice run. See what we're good at, improve what we've been working on.
No, good point. I'm kind of maybe leaning slightly towards to you there, Bryony. I think don't tweak it too much because it's one of these, isn't it, where if you completely change the 11 and they get battered, if they win, if Town play their full strength team and win the next game, no one's going to matter. But if it spawns a bad run, then it looks like a bad decision. So I think it's don't play the kids like Corberan did against Plymouth in the cup. I feel like maybe give those players who you could argue pushing for a start, and like you said, don't tweak too much because it'd be silly to play like I don't know Rhodes and he gets an injury, but also you don't want to put out some 18-year-olds and have them fend for themselves. So yeah, it's a good point. I mean, the other thing is we normally pick a key player, but I think this is for the other team. I think this is a difficult one, Tom, because I'd expect maybe Preston might make a few changes. So I'll give you the nice, easy task of guessing who your key player would be.
Yeah, exactly. You spot on, Brady. So then I'll go for someone like Mikey O'Neill, attacking midfielder, 18-year-old at Preston. I'm sure he'll come on. He's only played 6 games this season. Maybe he'll get a shout. But it probably will honestly be like that. But I don't think Preston will full on play a weakened side, but they'll obviously give lads a chance. I mean, it's 2 teams from the same division. I can't see us both putting full strength squads out, like proper full strength squads. I understand the kind of keep it going, but I think we also there's players in our squad as well that you've got to give a bit of game time to. Brady, honestly, I don't know. I mean, we literally did this podcast. What was it, about 2 weeks ago?
2.5 weeks
So,
ago, yeah.
and I can't. Who did I pick that day? Freddie Woodman.
No,
Good
I think you picked
goalkeeper.
Robbie Brady.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Well, shall I go Freddie Woodman this time?
Yeah, why not? I mean, he had a great game against us, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. So that's my logic. Goalkeeper played amazing against Town. I mean, he was really at fault potentially for the 2 goals against us. So I'm sure he'll be wanting to improve on that because it was almost like they went on the settings on like a video game, wasn't it, and make the keeper rubbish because I don't know what he was doing for 2 of those goals. I think the second one was the worst where he tried to kind of come out, couldn't get it. I'm really bigging up my key player here, aren't I? So yeah, Freddie Woodman, there we go.
Nice. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much, mate. Hopefully he does the same again because we need all the luck we can get at the moment. I'll jump in then, Bryony, because basically I did think of a player, and it was only, to be honest, I was trying to think back to the Carabao Cup game, another game where we played Preston, and lost heavily, I think 4-1 at home. Don't need to labour on that too long, but I think Ben Woodburn got a start, and I think he was quite lively, might have got an assist. He's kind of been on the bench recently, so I kind of can see them rotating him, coming in and doing a good job. And he's one of them that, like, he was at Liverpool for years, like highly thought of. So it's not quite worked out, and like this is kind of an opportunity to impress joining Preston. So I could see him. He's one of them players where I think like you could pull something out from nowhere, and I think we'd have to be wary whoever's going to be in defence for us. Bryony, what about yourself? Who did you select?
Yeah, I mean, there's the obvious ones that will they play or not? Probably not, I would think. When I'd say will trouble us, probably Ben Whiteman, midfield. Without Hogg, we are a little bit weak in there. We have Kasumu, who I love, but he loves to clatter through people. So I think, that we're kind of a bit weak there sometimes. We're a little bit risky play there. So yeah, I think, a decent midfielder like that that's good on the ball has just got the potential to rip us a new one.
Yeah, I feel we've seen a lot of midfielders rip us a new one this season. But yeah, no, he's a really good shout. I think we were linked with him back in the Cowley days as well, to be fair.
We were, yeah.
Yeah. Well, how many times have we said that on this pod, Tom, when we do opposition players? Yeah, anyway, well, we couldn't get a view from the other side this week. It seems, there's also some rotation in terms of fans wanting to chat to us, but we will try and get people back for this podcast. So we'll in fact, we won't take a break because that was a little quick. We'll do the mailbag because it's time to get into your questions.
You've got mail.
One of the first questions we got was from Jay Bentley. He asked, it's a little bit off topic because this might give you an impression of how people feel about this one. Jay Bentley asked, big question. Think Hoggy will have a testimonial? If so, which 3 former Town players from the Hog era would you like to see back in the shirt? That's a nice one to start off. I'm going to jump in because I remember Schindler said he's been invited. He will be at Hoggy's testimonial, so that's locked in. Who else would I want? Because Hog's been here for ages, I mean.
Yeah, he has.
I'd want someone really crap just because it'd be funny. So why not? Why not Adama Diakhaby? I think people would enjoy that.
As soon as you said somebody crap, my brain said it, but I wasn't going to be the one putting it out.
Yeah, you didn't go to that low bar, but I went there. That's where I'm comfortable.
Do you think he'd even come back? Do you think he'd dare show his face? To be fair,
yeah, maybe. And I'm gonna say Fraser Campbell purely because it will annoy Richard Cosmala. So they're my 3. So clearly, nice fun options. But what about you, Bryony? Any actual nice picks you'd like?
I'm gonna go for just like my personal favourites from the time because regardless of football inability or whatever, they're just players that I like. Elias Kachunga, I would love to see anywhere near the club again for anything, even if it was only a testimonial. Footballing wasn't always the best, but he grafted his ass off, and the amount of charity and community work that he did, I just think he's the kind of player you want to have around your club still. Obviously, again, Schindler, if you're talking about the Hog era, you kind of can't leave him out. He's one of the icons of the past 9-10 years, is it? And then I'd probably have Naki Wells back as well, because he's another that I love. I think he was a fantastic footballer. The way that he left, I think, was a bit sour from the club. Maybe not handled the best by either him or them. So yeah, I think it'd be nice to have him back. They achieved some good things together.
Yeah, they're 3 really good choices, actually. Yeah, I miss Naki. We talk about it a lot, but I would have.
Yeah, I miss Naki Wells.
Yeah. Tom, what about you? Are you going to go actually genuinely nice like Brian, or are you going to go silly like me?
Super Cole.
Super Cole, yeah.
Super Cole's got to come back because that's just funny, isn't it?
I think he'd do it as well. I could see Kachunga doing it because he'd probably do it for charity.
Yeah.
So I could see, yeah.
It's mad, actually, Brady. Thinking about how long Hog's been here now. So I've got players like James Vaughan, Adam Clayton, that they were like the kind of first Hog spell. I mean, I know it's one spell, but the first chunk of his career. I think Clayton, I'd love to see Adam Clayton playing a Town shirt again. I loved Adam Clayton. And they worked really well together, didn't they? Basically getting stuck in. So one more. I mean, Varney. You can't beat Varney. But then, I don't know. It's too difficult. Three's not enough. I want to go through the whole, however many it'll be, 30 odd players or something. I'll go James Vaughan for now. But I mean, it's going to be great, isn't it? When you really think about it, it could be a proper good match. That there could be some real legends coming back.
They get to suggest the team that they play against as well, don't they? What if Hoggy picks a really random team that's not related? Like when we played Leon in pre-season, just someone like that.
Yeah.
Just someone you're not expecting. I bet he'd pick Watford, actually. Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think they should do it where it's literally 2 teams against each other, picked 2 teams against each other. Hog 11 versus whatever. Huddersfield's worst 11.
And they bring Harry Arter on, so Hogg could kick him one last time.
Yeah, but probably Watford, Brady. That's a good shout. It probably could be Watford because I mean he's not really. Who else is it? Villa, and then Portsmouth.
Had a loan spell on Darlington if you listen to the Christmas quiz. We'll see. I'm amazed none of us picked Aaron Moy there, but obviously would love Moy at the testimonial. Probably the only time we'll see him in the town shirt again. So yeah. Lovely. I like that. Okay, cool. So we'll move on. I might do that as a tweet actually, Jay. That's a good question. Let's see what people pick. Okay, so our next question, Johnny Foster, he asks two actually. So the first one, really important question actually. How do you have your tea or coffee? And then his other question is something about football. It's what are the three things that you do to the stadium to improve it and the match day experience? Oh, that's a tough one. So we'll go around in tea and coffee first. Coffee for me, I don't really have tea, which is controversial. I know we're in the region of Yorkshire. I do like if I do have to have a tea, Yorkshire tea. Let's just clarify. Coffee, just very strong, bit of milk, standard. Tom, how do you have it?
Never really been into coffee. If I'm having a tea, I literally just have it black tea in and out. Yeah, I'm not really a tea or coffee drinker. I don't mind a herbal tea now and again as well.
Okay. What's your herbal tea of choice? Sorry, I did it like that, like the TikTok. That's a Yorkshire version of the.
I don't know, Brady, to be honest. A green, like a greeny. I don't know. You know, I don't really like. Yeah, there's like the spearmint or whatever kind of maybe. I'm not really a hot drinker, which is a bit weird, isn't it?
I think if anything's going to get us cancelled from this podcast, it's the fact that we're not keen on tea.
I know.
Oh my god. Bryony, what about yourself? Tea, coffee? Yeah. How do you have it?
I'm about to make it worse. I think tea is the devil's drink. It's absolutely rank. Anyone that likes tea, I question. Coffee, strong but milky, which like sounds contradictory, but you know, a strong brew but a decent amount of milk in it. And oat milk, otherwise I will be attached to a toilet because I can't digest that. So
okay. I can't believe this. We are so getting like just feel the comments now.
That is very rare that you get three people who not fussed about tea. Like I like a cup of tea now and again, but I'm not one of these people who has like 5 cups of tea a day. You know what I mean? I probably have like 2 cups of tea a week. That's terrible, isn't it? What are we doing? Can we cut this part?
No, we've got to keep it in.
We've got to rattle everyone somehow.
Yeah. Come on, this is how you do well on football podcasts. You've got to say incredibly controversial things. So,
yeah, true.
Anyway, what would you guys do to improve the match day experience? 3 things. You don't necessarily have to think of 3 things because we might be here a while, but anything kind of jump into mind, I'll open the floor.
Safe standing. Give us the safe standing, for God's sake. We've already got South Stand and the South End of, the two in, hooligan corner as it's been for as long as I can remember, which is full of old men now. And then, the traditional singing section, Kilnabank, where I am, we're all standing anyway. Just make it safe, please. Because it's silly if not. Like, the playoff game last season, my brother had to literally grab me and yank me back because I nearly got launched. Like, it's one of those things. So many clubs have done it now. It's allowed. It's better. It's a better experience. You can get more fans in with it. Just do it, please. I know it's expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah. No, good shout. Tom, anything jumping to mind?
I think that's kind of top of the list, that kind of thing. I mean, was the question, what would you do to the stadium? I love these kind of nerdy things, thinking about like, what would
you do to the stadium to improve it and the match day experience?
Do you know what, right? And you put the away fans either in the top tier of the fantastic media or whatever it's called, or half of the sides, one of the side stands for me, and you have the whole South Stand as a home end. I just, it's the loudest stand. It's the only stand that's kind of got any sort of acoustic echoes going on. Do you know what I mean? In that sense, if you had that whole, the amount of times we used to, I mean, it's better now. It's almost half and half. But remember when it was the full of away fans now and again? You'd just be outsung basically the whole game. So that'd be like top of my list. If I came in as a billionaire all of a sudden, Brady, I'd be like, because the whole argument for that as well has been, oh, we can't do that because of health and safety and the way people walk after a game. But every time I've come out of that ground, there's always conflict or clashes with the away fans. I don't think you could put the away fans in any part of that ground and they not have to walk past some home fans. I've never really understood it as a thing anyway. It needs a clean, I tell you that. The arches are basically brown now, aren't they?
Get a power washer on it.
Yeah. And then now you've got that big empty where the driving range used to be. In an ideal world, you could make that a pretty amazing fan park kind of thing. Not just for football, but just for other things as well. Look, this is a pipe dream, isn't it? I mean, it's a question that I love kind of thinking about. And it'd be like if you had a stadium tycoon, do you know, like those video games?
Oh yeah. Well, you put a roller coaster around.
Yeah, man, monorail going around. There was going to be a zip line or whatever. Not a zip line, cable car from the stadium.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, kids always think it's a roller coaster anyway. I was convinced when I was a kid that it was a roller coaster, so we might as well just like make it be one.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. No, I like it. I mean, the one that's springing to mind, safe standing, I'd agree with. Also, the fantastic media lower, like, I know there's something to do with safety certificate, but get fans back in there because it looks so crap like on TV. It looks like there's no one there.
I think you either get fans back in, Brady, or you get rid of it completely.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
And that's where I think if you got rid of it completely, that's when you put the away fans in that upper tier. There's no conflict of them, anyone below.
Yeah, true.
They're far away enough from everyone else. And then you've just
It's just the issue that walkway when you go past the main stand, I've got no idea what its real name is at the minute, is narrow. That's why they can't do it, because you'll have then all of your away fans having to go up there unless you put away coaches on that side.
Yeah.
And then you're still going to get some because Kilnabank goes in at that side. But
yeah,
I think you probably could do it. It might be a logistical nightmare to begin with, but I reckon they could make it work if they really wanted to.
Like if the away coaches, this logistics, but if the away coaches, Bryony, went in the car park, do you know the town car park just across the river, where why that'd take quite a few out if the coaches went in there as well. So anyway, it's I'm sure they've all thought about it, but that's what I'd do ideally if I could do anything to that stadium.
Nice. I'd probably actually another thing I wouldn't mind doing is like someone taking over the rope walk. I mean, what about our sponsors, Magic Rock? Get a little tap room down there. I think that'd be great. And to be honest, a bit more drink because like again, I'm biased, but I'm not your typical like John Smith's drinker, so I'll have it. But like, I really like the Magic Rock little bar at the back end of Kilnabank, but I swear that's it. That's all it is on my stand. So like maybe a bit more options like food and drink wise and stuff. But that's not really improving the match day experience, is it? To be fair, that's just making. No.
Well, these things could become reality soon, couldn't they? With KDSL losing their whatever it is shares in the stadium. Do you know what? As well, thinking about that back wall, if you got rid of those seats at the bottom. The fantastic media, you could make that into some sort of like interactive game. Like whenever someone misses a shot and it goes, you could have hoops, and it could like go, like a town fan every game enters into this draw, and you could have like different prizes as the ball goes into the hoop, like you get to come on for 5 minutes. That kind of thing. Book any player you want. Those kind of prizes. Imagine that'd be awesome.
That would be brilliant.
I tell you what, I would actually love, and I've seen it as an idea. I think it was in American football, but for halftime entertainment, I love dizzy penalties. Don't get me wrong, but I saw one where it's basically called "I could have scored that," and it's like getting people who've tweeted like, "Oh, I could have scored this amount," and you basically like try and create it as best you
Yeah,
can
that's
and
good.
get them to finish it. And I think you'll have a lot of people eating humble pie, won't you? So
Yeah, I would love that one. Be
there you
fantastic.
go. There you go. Club, get in touch. We've got some good ideas here. Forget logistics, just vibes,
Yeah.
just vibes.
Nothing
Um,
but vibes.
yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. We've got some other ones. A couple more questions. One from Nick Jenkinson. I hope this is meant in a nice way, but it's probably not. What on earth does Sorba do? I think I'll expand on that and say, he's out of form at the moment. What do you guys? How do you guys see it? I think I know they echoed it on the main pod, but we're in the relegation zones, and Sorba has been one of our best players for the last 18 months, and booing him coming on it's embarrassing. I know it's a minority, but still, what you're doing. I think he probably just needs a rest. Really, to be honest, he's played a lot of football. I know he went away with Wales, and I know he didn't play much, but he's still training intense in a I think I wouldn't put him in this game, in FA Cup game, but yeah, I don't know, just all feels a bit grim. Tom, anyway, I'm rambling. What would you say?
I think he's on a bit of a downer at the moment, just because you've got to remember where he's come from. What will it be? 4 seasons ago? 3 years ago, playing Boreham Wood. And look, Boreham Wood are a small team. Boreham Wood are like Golka United, the equivalent of Golka United, and they've just got money. Brady, they've just got money. They're a team. They're a small team with money near London. Boreham Wood are a small club. Trust me. So, and then
You're trying to get really cancelled this podcast, aren't you?
What are the 12 Boreham Wood fans going to come from there? They're tiny, Brady. So like he's played at Boreham Wood, right? And then he's at the World Cup in Qatar with Wales, like that. He's basically completed his career of football in like 3 years, and I think before the World Cup, that was obviously playing on his mind, and now afterwards, he's probably thinking, "Oh bloody hell! I've just been at Qatar, and then I'm going back to play for Town in a relegation battle." I mean, it's going to affect you. A player that's come from non-league like he has, he's not built like a normal footballer, is he? He's not been programmed in that kind of way, that environment and stuff. So, I think just give him time. He's still creating stuff, isn't he? He's still top assister now.
Yeah,
I mean,
so.
Rudoni, thankfully, is chipping in now, but like, I don't get what people expect him to do. He's creating stuff. His delivery came on against Luton, and for me, I thought he's still playing great balls into the box. Set piece, different class. Set piece, when he gets it right, he's best in the league by a mile. He's absolutely beautiful. He's just become the classic scapegoat, I think, for some reason. I don't know why. But look, he's probably going to go in here anyway, so maybe that's why people are starting to get on his back for no reason.
Do you think he's going to go? What, in January?
Maybe Brady, if he's not happy, maybe he'll say, I want to go. And he's fallen out of favour in the last few games, coming off the bench and stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, I suppose we'll wait and see. Bryony, what do you kind of make of it all?
I think it's a bit of a like Josh Koroma 2.0. Like, of course he's not going to be his best when all that there has been since, especially the Wales interview, about which I thought was a perfectly media trained answer of why can't they be the ones to knock England out. He didn't
Yeah.
say a single thing wrong. He did not say a thing wrong. But as soon as that came out, not only did he have all of the England fans who are questionable at the best of times going at him, but his own club's fan base also. going at him, and people are still not over that. He comes on the pitch, and I don't know where you guys are in the ground, but behind me, there's still, shouts about him thinking that he's too good and whatever. And I'm like,
Mm, I
he's
hear that.
done nothing wrong. He's had a dip in his form. Like you say, he's gone from still having an actual regular job a couple of years ago to playing in the World Cup. He's gonna have moments where he's not at his best. And people digging in at him constantly, both, on social media, which we know he sees. We know he sees it because he's had those moments where he's responded to it,
Mm,
and in person, which, they can't hear everything, but they'll hear some of it. You're gonna knock his confidence, and that is gonna impact on his play. Him not getting played, him coming off the bench might be that Fotheringham thinks he needs that break and that he thinks he's giving him it, but doesn't think we've got options to completely leave him out of the squad, maybe.
mm.
But yeah, I do think he's just having a run of bad form. It happens to, the best of players. Get off his back, leave him be. He'll either
Yeah,
get
and
better or he won't. And if he doesn't, there's nothing you can do about it by slating him, is there? So see what happens.
yeah. No, I mean, agree. And let's be honest, like, we're not near the relegation zone because of Sorba. A lot of other players have, really gone off the wheel boil. But like, I've been calling him that. But yeah, no, like he's not the only one who's like gone out of form. And you can call me a happy clapper or whatever, but I never understand like going after your own players. I just don't
Yeah.
get it at all. Like, I've said this many a time on the podcast, but Tom, if you were like having a bad day doing your drawings and I was just like behind you going, "Oh, you're shit, mate, arrogant. Think you can draw, can
Yeah.
you?" Like, you're not going to you're not going to do it better, are you? To prove me wrong, you'll
No.
be like, "Mate, what are you doing?" So
Mm.
I know you can say,
Brady,
"Oh, football's not the same," but yeah,
I think that's a very good point. You've got players like Lees,
yeah,
Nichols, who I want that they're not performing. I mean, maybe Nichols is now, but at the start of the season, I wouldn't say either of those were performing to the standards they were last season. And I don't remember them getting slaters like Sobras. And it's just very strange. It's just a very strange way to treat one of your own players. In it, the booing when he's coming on is just pathetic. It's like Boreham Wood fans wouldn't even stoop to those levels. Come on.
I just like I don't get it because if let's say he does leave, I don't think he's going to get many well wishes. And then like when he comes back, if he comes back and plays against us, and let's say he scores, they're going to be like, "Oh, he's such a dick." It's like it feels a little bit like the Colin Grant thing. Like I don't. I know this is a bit of a touchy subject for some people, but like this guy scored like 18 goals to keep us up, and we sold him for a good fee to a club, and then like he comes back and they're like, "Oh, boo!" Like he's crap. Like
It's so
it's like it's
weird.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Football's weird like that, Brady, though. It's so strange. It's so tribal, isn't it? It's like if a football player goes somewhere, you expect them to be loyal and all this rubbish. I mean, we booed Rhodes when he came back with Blackburn, didn't we? And everything. So it's just really silly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Speaking of roads, we'll move on to our last question. Leo, he asks, we have a number of striking options now. It looks like we're signing Canberry. Hudlin's coming back. Kean Harrett's now available, as well as Rhodes, Ward and Simpson. Not to mention Corona and Phillips, if we recall them. So who would you keep and who would you get rid of? I think Hudlin for me, and maybe with Kean Harrett as well. I feel like, Harrett is a different situation, but I feel like Hudlin's coming back. Fotherham's probably going to have a look at him, but I imagine he'll probably go out on loan again. Like, that's what we've done with a couple of players. I don't think they'll recall Phillips. Karama's a bit of an interesting one, actually, because obviously the Cowleys got sacked from Portsmouth. So I wonder, does he want to stay? He had a really good start and then he, was struggling for form. So I wonder... That was an interesting one. I'd maybe, see where he's at and could you bring him back? See, it feels like it's a confidence thing for me because we saw how good he was, during that lockdown season. A lot of rumours about Rhodes leaving, but I think he's been in great form at the moment and deserves to be starting. I think Simpson's offered something, when he comes on, it's a different option. I think Ward just looks unfit to me. So I don't know. I don't know really. I've just kind of set it all up, and I'm copping out of an answer. Bryony, what are you thinking about the striking situation?
Um, Controversial. Ward can go for me. Ward had a
Ooh.
fantastic season last season, and no one can deny it. But he also scored more last season than he has done in the previous five. You know,
Mm.
he had that one fluke season where yes, he was fantastic. But he's one of those players that when he's on that pitch, every time I look at him, I'm frustrated. He's always offside. He's always running around like a blue ass fly, but he's never actually anywhere near where the ball is or where he needs to be or where he's expected to be. And I just think you can't do worse at the minute. Not that he's terrible at everything, but why not give the kids a go? Because they're not going to be worse. And I'd rather we bring back Harrott, who everyone has a lot of good things to say, about his football, about other things he's been up to recently. It's a
Yeah.
different kettle of fish, but his footballing, there's very few bad things anyone has to say about him. So why not give the younger lad a chance and develop him rather than relying on someone who is getting older? And yeah, he had his one fluke season that was brilliant, but he's offered nothing pretty much this season at all.
Mm-hmm. No, fair. Yeah, I don't know. I just get the feeling he's not fit. But then again, I suppose you could say like players work in certain systems, and maybe the reason Ward did so well last season was because he fit Corberan's system well.
Mm.
And maybe he's not Fodringham's type of player. Tom, what are you thinking about the options up front?
I kind of agree with Brian on the Ward front, and with you as well, Brady. I think Corberan this Corberan system suited Ward perfectly, didn't it? And he just looks. I mean, I don't want to be. He looks past it almost when he comes on and stuff. It's amazing how it's really interesting. You touched on the kind of rumours of people going to. I've heard Holmes, Rhodes, and Ward. Was it Ward to Bolton? Sounds
Mm.
kind of right, like that's on the money anyway. But it's quite interesting that Rhodes and Holmes scored in their last couple of games, and I don't know whether that's a bit of a, you know what I mean, trying to prove that they're worth keeping around, if that makes sense. I think I really liked Wayne Holmes anyway. I found that weird when I read that he was potentially going in January, so I'd be quite shocked to see that happening. But I think Rhodes is definitely worth keeping till the end of this season, because if he's in the right place, he slots it away, didn't it? That finish against Rotherham was awesome. It was an absolutely beautiful finish. So, and then you're looking at who, I mean, oh God, this lad we're bringing in, not from Chef Wednesday or whatever, but I mean, his record doesn't say much. But Fotheringham has worked with him before, hasn't he? I think so. Maybe you'll get something out of him that others haven't recently.
Got to give him a chance as well.
Yeah, you have.
Like,
Yeah,
give him a
yeah.
couple of games. Yeah.
Hudlin's interesting. I always kind of like players like that though, in the sense of they're just a bit of a wild card. You know what I mean? You throw him on for the last 15 minutes, young big lad who, when you watch him play, you can't really tell what he's going to do. But then some of those goals he scored when he was at Solihull looked like Cruyff could have scored them or something. So I don't know. I'd maybe throw him in for this last half of the season, just as that kind of random player that comes on and does something. And when you're chasing a game, throwing a big lad up front is quite useful sometimes.
Well, Tom, do you not remember when he signed? He's not your average 6'7" striker. To be fair,
Yeah,
he's got
true.
more to his game.
Yeah,
that famous average 6'7"
yeah.
person.
And then on Karoma, I'd call him back for this second half of the season. Give him like a right, here you go. If you want to keep a potential championship contract next season, you've got this half of the season to show us what you can do, or really show that other teams you can play in the championship.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think Simpson deserves, obviously he's had a long injury, but I think, maybe we should we'll move on from the questions and we'll come on to the lineups. But for me, I think he should play start this, to be honest. Just, build up his fitness, give him 60 minutes or whatever. So last time against Luton, Town lined up in a 3-4-2-1 formation. So that was Nichols in goal, a back three of Lees, Hellick, Boyle, and then your 4 was Kessler, Hayden, Hogg, Kasumu, Ruffles. Your 2 was Redoni and Holmes, and you had Jordan Rhodes up front. Bryony, I'll let you pick. Would you change the formation? Would you keep it the same? How are you thinking
I think
about
I'd
this?
keep it, to be honest.
Exactly.
It seems to be working all right. I know Luton, we didn't win there, but it seems to be working all right. That's going back to what I said earlier about not messing with it too much. I think keep that. Leeds, Hellick, Boyle, I'd keep. I think they've come into a nice run of form. The Rotherham game, not one of them put a foot wrong. Let them get used to it. Whatever they're doing with them is working. I know Fotheringham in an early interview said something about it all starts from the back line from him. So if obviously they're not there yet, they're not perfect yet, but they're getting there. So stick with them for me. Let them get more play time together. I'd throw in Lurton just because he's new. Have a go, see where you fit in. Keep Kazuma in there, I think, because why not have him there? This is where I kind of get into my anyone but the man that we keep playing there, because I think he's the big weak spot that we've got, but I don't really know who else I'd put in. So yeah, what I've got written down is please literally anyone else, which is a lot meaner than I usually am so publicly. But I don't know what it is about Ruffles, but there's something that's not there. And I don't know if he needs more game time or if the system's not suiting him or what it is, but there's something that's missing for me. And I'm like, please, what is it? Where is it? I've missed a man out here. Yeah, stick Rudy on there because again, he's playing well. I think once he gets a goal, I think he's gonna bag 10.
I
You
agree.
can just see it when you look at him that he's so close, and it's like, please just get that one and then, get into it. And
Do you know what
then,
it
yeah,
feels like, Brandy? Sorry, it feels a bit like do you remember when Tom Ince in the Prem, he did a lot of good things and just couldn't score, and then
yeah,
it feels very much like that to me. Sorry,
yeah. Yeah, and then up front, I'd keep Holmes on because I think he's creating nice stuff, and I just like to watch him play. I know half the fan base doesn't, but I don't care about their opinions. And then yeah, go chaotic. I want to play a bit of chaos ball. Stick Hudlin and Harrott up there. See what happens.
Oh, nice, love it, love that. Tom, what are you doing? You said you were basically going to change the 11. Or have you been convinced by the case put forward by Bryony?
The chaos ball.
I think I've done half and half. So I think I've gone. I think this formation is probably a 5-5 or a 3-4-3. I think more.
Okay.
So I'd be putting Biloka pick in net just because
Billow.
Yeah, Billow. We've got one subkeeper, haven't we, basically? Chapman's still at Salford, isn't it?
He's been recalled, hasn't he?
They've brought them both back.
Right. Well, I'd be putting Billow in for a game. Give him a game.
He played against Burnley, didn't he? He was all right.
Yeah. Well, give him a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the cup last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When he came on for Schofield. Poor Schofield. Yeah. Poor Ryan. Anyway, so Billow's in net for me. Then Hellick, Mbete and Boyle back three.
Oh, okay.
Then kind of attacking fullbacks. Lurton starting him. And then this is it. So we literally don't have another left back apart from Onder. Is it? Yeah, Onder. Charles Onder, but they play him up front, don't they now?
Yeah, Onder, who's decided he's now a striker.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing up front, don't they? So then I just thought, right, well, just sack Ruffles out anyway, because I think Lowton can kind of drop in and make that a back four when needed, and put someone like Aaron Rowe there, even though he's right-footed, but just put someone like that there. or Brody Spencer maybe. Then Kamara Kasumu in the middle, because one thing I think Fotheringham, I know he was complaining, he was very disappointed after that game against Luton, but I actually think it was down to the subs almost.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why
It needed a like for like, not changing
Kamara's
how
got
you
to
were
be
trying to
coming
play.
on for Hogg, Annie. Kamara's got to be coming on for Hogg. And then they basically scored, didn't they? In that just before half time, it seemed, because of that kind of just unsettled it, didn't it? So I'd be putting Kamara and Kasumu together. I thought Kamara looked great when he came on as well. Like he can dictate where that ball goes and kind of trick players into just turning them so easily. It's great to watch. Then I'm giving Maloney a chance. And then I'm giving Sorba 90, I think, as well, or starting at least. He's starting. And then Simpson up front.
Nice. Mine's a bit weird. I think I'm probably going 3-4-3. I was going to give Billow a game just because why not? See if he's good. You know, I think we know Nichols is decent, so let's see how good Billow is. And then, interestingly, I've included players who we haven't recalled at time of recording, but I would like to see them, and I feel like maybe Fotheringham would be a good game to test them, just to see. So I've brought Reg back, Edmonds Green, and my back three would be Reg, Boyle, and Mbete, because I think Boyle is actually not too. I think he's a typical like headache kick it away defender, and I actually wonder if you put him in the middle and he's got Reg and Mbete who are quicker. Maybe that's a bit nicer. Lowton, I think we're all in agreement. Like, start him in this game, see what he can do. He seems like quite solid, and be good to have an experienced head on the pitch. Then I had Kamara, and then if we can recall him, a person we think is quite underrated, Tom, or deserves gets a lot of stick, Scott High. I think if you recalled him, I'd put him in there. If I can't have Reg and Scott High, I'd probably maybe bring in, I don't know, like Lees for Reg, and maybe put Holmes in midfield or something like that. And then I'd have Jackson, because I think Ben Jackson's looked good in starts. He's not had a lot of starts, but yeah, he's been lively. And then my three,
Brady, is Jackson fit now?
Yeah, I was wondering that as well.
If Jackson's fit, I'm putting him left back. I'll just say that as well.
He was on the bench, wasn't he? I think so. I don't know. Maybe who knows? But if not, Ruffles if Jackson's not fit. And then my front three, I think you're right, Tom. I'm going to put Mahoney in there just because, like, I don't know, like, we've not seen anything from him. Maybe this is a game to see what he can do and, you know, force it. I think Diarra, play Diarra, because, you know, again, why not? And I'd probably put Simpson. So, like, I know we talked about stick up to us. Simpson, yeah, why not give him 60 and then maybe bring on. I think it'd be silly to. Well, it depends how the game's going, but I wouldn't really bring on Rhodes if, unless we really need to. So maybe you could swap him out for Ward, see what he does for 40. But yeah, I do think like rotate, but it's. I say that, but if they get battered, I think that's really bad, and I think that could really affect confidence. So
yeah, can I throw a question out to you two here?
Yeah, go for it.
The age-old question, because we only seem to be in predicaments like promotion or relegation, and whenever we enter the FA Cup, my mate always asks me this question: would you rather stay up and get knocked out of the FA Cup, or go down and win the FA Cup?
Bryony, do you want to go first?
I'm gonna say go down and win it because I've got a lot of League One grounds that I need to tick off. So at least like there'd be something that makes it worthwhile in there. And yeah, it'd be nice to see us win something that's not a playoff.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, like, I don't know. It feels like a really bad season to go down, but you win a bit of money for winning the FA Cup, and like, let's be honest, in 10 years, you're gonna remember the FA Cup. You're not gonna be like, oh, do you remember when we stayed up? Like my teeth. So yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd go FA Cup.
maybe I agree. I'm with you too. Maybe this question was better last year when we were.
Doing
It
well.
was it was like, would you rather go up or win the FA Cup? And which I still think I'd rather have won the FA Cup, even though we didn't. You know what I mean? If Town could win a major trophy, that would be pretty incredible, wouldn't it? I think even getting to the semis or the final would be pretty good. Get to Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good point. What about the Carabao? Would you do the same? I don't think I'd be that.
I don't know. Yeah.
But then again, you'd be like, yeah, it's a trophy.
Hey, we'll have 4 chances of getting to Wembley next season. If we go down.
The big old pizza trophy. Oh yeah.
I'm still very disappointed we didn't at least get to the final of that, the amount of time we were in League One and League Two. So yeah.
The Johnson's Paint Trophy?
Yeah.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, that home game against, was it Carlisle, and Alan Lee came on and scored 2, and I think were we like 3-0 down in the first leg, and he missed the header from about 5 yards out with about 10 minutes to go. He almost came on and scored a hat trick to get us back into the tie, and everyone thought we were out. Good.
Well, another one of Tom's loves for Alan Lee.
What a legend.
Another page in the history book of Alan Lee. Anyway, right, I feel like we've been talking a lot about not this game, basically. So score prediction time. What are you both going for this? Bryony, I'll come to you first.
I reckon a scrappy 1-1 and a replay. I don't want that, but I can see us getting that.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
I know. I can't expand on it. I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling. It's not what I want to see.
Wow, there'll probably be like 2,000 fans for that at the replay, wouldn't there?
Yeah, I mean, why not play each other 5 times in a season? Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can really see that. It's a shame we could get a Preston fan, because I'd really want to know what they think about it. Like, can they be us playing us again?
It's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, how does that? Did we do it with Charlton a few years ago as well? Maybe, or Reading. Someone else we've done it with recently, but it's so strange how we've got Preston in the first round of each cup. What are the chances of that?
Well, I think it's like the same when we were in the playoffs last season. It's like I was a bit sick of playing Luton. I was like, we just played Luton so much. I hate it when we play Luton. Anyway, Tom, you're not getting out of a score prediction. What are you going for?
5-3 to Town.
Okay. Nice.
Simpson 2, Boyle 1, Lurton scoring his debut, and Maloney scoring directly from a corner.
As he does.
Nice. I can we never predict losses, but what I think will actually happen is I think Town will probably lose this like 1-0, and they'd actually be a bit all right with it. But I'll say a 1-0 Town win, because we can't really score, and I'm going to go for Rudoni off the bench to kickstart that run. So
nice.
Lovely stuff. Well, Tom, we talked about Alan Lee. He's been away for quite a while, hasn't he? Do you want to tell us what's been happening?
He has. So I'm sure the listeners have been, every episode being like, where's the amazing elbow? What the hell? Not heard about him for ages. But fear not, it's back. Part 2 is here. So we last were with our amazing crime-fighting elbow man at the Sir John Smith Stadium after Kevin Muscat's head exploded and thousands of Alex Pritchards swarmed out of it. And to save the day, the amazing elbow offered him a new contract, killing off this swarm of Pritchards and saving the stadium from destruction. So after saving the stadium from near destruction from a swarm of genetically engineered, iron-eating Alex Pritchard bugs that appeared from the exploding head of Kevin Muscat, you'd think there was a lot of questions for the amazing elbow to ask. Wrong. Instead, he went to the elbow cave, put his feet up, and watched the World Cup. About a month later, his butler, Novak, appeared, saying someone was at the door asking for him. They were very worried, upset, and urgently needing his help. That person was ... Now I'd like the guests to come up with the person in question and a problem that they have.
Okay. Brian,
And I haven't even come up with it yet, so...
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I'm happy to go first.
Go.
It's Danny Cowley desperately clutching another P45, wondering what on earth he's going to do with his life now.
We have been very mean today on the pod. Tom slagging off Boreham Wood. You're being mean to Danny. Fair.
I love Danny Cowley. It's just very timely. It had to be done.
That's true. Yeah, cool. Okay. Well, the person at his door in my scenario is Fozzie, Mark Fotheringham. And his problem is he's got a player in his squad who's not a credit to his family, and he doesn't know what to do about it.
Ooh, that's a big problem. That is a big problem. So I've got one here. It's a man who looks like he's wearing a fake mustache, and he says his name is Hill Podgkinson. And he's really worried and upset because the Sir John Smith Stadium is up for sale and he wants to buy it, but he can't.
For some reason, Hill Podgkinson sounds mean, but it sounds like a proper playground insult. Okay. Cool. So the three options is this is going on the poll, isn't it, Tom? So
yes.
Right, we've got at the Elbow Cave door, Danny Cowley with his P45, Fotheringham with a player who's not a credit to his family. I tweet it and it's 25 characters. Why have I made that so difficult for myself? And Hill Podgkinson, who wants to buy the John Smith Stadium. Okay, so there are three options. We will put them to a poll, and you will vote in your millions, and the public vote will decide what happens next. But what a lovely, I think they're three solid answers. What a lovely start to part 2 of the Amazing Elbow, wouldn't you agree, Tom?
I know. I just hope this part is a little bit more structured than the last one.
I think the issue was all the options were just insane. It was it was like asking a 5-year-old to come up with it, except you had to draw it, Tom. But I might just make them really tame. Next week, what does the Amazing Elbow do? It does a backflip. Right. Cool. Okay. So that's it. I think that's it for this one. This has been a long one, but let's be honest, we've had a bit of fun. And who's that? Are we that bothered about the FA Cup? It would appear not. But let's hope the players are anyway. So thanks to everyone who's tuned in for listening. Thanks to Tom and Bryony. Thanks to Magic Rock, who always sponsor our podcast. Don't forget, you can get 10% off all online orders with the code AHTTC10. Yes, got it first time. Thank God for that. So yeah, get yourself some of them. And Happy New Year to all our listeners. Tom, anything else you want to say before we go?
Nope.
Okay. Bryony, anything else you'd like to say?
No, nothing.
Fantastic. Well, Happy New Year from all of us. We will be back to preview the next game.
Up the town.
Up the town.
So town, play up. Bring the car back to Huddersfield.